It launched the attack after Houthi rebels fired a new kind of missile toward Israel on Friday. We are also following rising tensions between the U.S. and a powerful South American country, Venezuela. A huge show of force is happening right now as the U.S. Navy deploys 3 guided missile destroyers to Venezuela in what the Trump administration calls an effort to thwart drug cartels. CNN's Patrick Ottman has this report.
A major show of force in South America. At least 3 U.S. Navy destroyers, attack aircraft, amphibious landing vehicles, and more than 4,000 Marines. The Trump administration says it's meant to crack down on drug smuggling from the region to the U.S. and intimidate Venezuela's embattled leader, Nicolas Maduro, who has responded by calling up more than 4 million militiamen to defend against any possible U.S. aggression. The White House alleges Maduro is the head of a shadowy cocaine trafficking empire known as El Cartel de los Soles, a criminal organization secretly operated by Venezuela's military. This month, the administration doubled the reward for Maduro's capture to $50 million.
The Maduro regime is not the legitimate government of Venezuela. It is a narco-terror cartel. In Maduro, it is the view of this administration, is not a legitimate president. He is a fugitive head of this cartel who has been indicted in the United States for trafficking drugs into the country.
Now U.S. Navy ships approaching Venezuela are putting Maduro on notice. The deployment may just be a show of force, but one that Venezuela's leader vows to resist. Maduro denies the drug smuggling accusations and says his government will fight until the last bullet.
We must defend Venezuela because they want to turn us into slaves of supremacists due to the racist contempt they have for us.
Maduro, who counts Russia and Iran as allies, say he's mobilizing his military and militia across the country to ensure any U.S. action would be drawn out and bloody.
No empire is going to set foot on the sacred soil of Venezuela.
Despite the saber rattling on both sides, it's clear the U.S. forces deployed would not be sufficient for regime change, says a former U.S. official who has studied what an invasion of Venezuela would look like.
We're talking about 250,000 troops because it's not just a question of bringing the regime down. That would not be that difficult. The invasion becomes an occupation, and that gets very complicated because how do you maintain social order in a country where the government has collapsed?
This is not the first time the U.S. has vowed to oust Maduro. In 2019, during the first Trump administration, a U.S.-backed uprising of dissident Venezuelan soldiers led to fighting in the streets of the capital Caracas between pro- and anti-government forces. But that would-be coup failed, and Maduro emerged with a tighter grip on power, and even more defiant of U.S. attempts to end his rule. Patrick Ottman, CNN.